Hello, this is your host Tyler from the Analyze to Realize podcast. I'm here with my co-host Titus, and today we're going to be discussing grocery stores, the good, bad, and the ugly, and the weird, strange stories about them. Anyway, to start us out, Titus is going to read a little bit of history about grocery stores off of Wikipedia, so who knows if it's true or complete bullcrap. But anyway, take it away and get your foot off the microphone stand. You're going to make the mic sound like this. Thank you. Take it away.
This is Analyze to Realize.
This isn't radio.
I'm sorry. That sounded really bad, too. All right, so grocery stores. Those beautiful buildings we all love to...
The waffling from the microphone.
Those beautiful buildings we all love to take a trip into, get our food, and get out as soon as possible. And pray and hope that we don't run into random people that we might know because we don't want to stay in there any longer than possible. Anyway... Everybody knows what a grocery store is. You've all been to Walmart, maybe a Safeway, perhaps the beloved Kmart.
Maybe even Winco.
Maybe even Winco. In fact, Winco's a great place to go, even in this day and age, for cheap groceries. I digress.
I do have some horror stories, but
yes.
but more
Tyler used to work at the Winco.
And Walmart and Safeway.
Yep. So he knows them all. He knows all the corners. And myself, I used to deliver to two of those. I did not deliver to Winco, but...
What did you deliver to?
Safeway and Walmart and a few other local grocery stores. But we'll get into that in a second here. So here's the history of grocery stores. We're going to keep it real short and sweet for you. Apparently grocery stores the concept of them began in the 14th century.
Well, that's a lot older than I thought it would be.
Yeah, the 14th century. Let's see.
Hello, fellow traveler. Would you like to check out my wares?
Basically. It says items were often bought in bulk back then, and that's kind of how groceries started. And they're named after the French word for wholesaler or a grossier.
Grossier.
This in turn derived from the medieval Latin term grossarius, from which the term gross, meaning a quantity of 12 dozen or 144, is also derived. Interestingly enough, from the late 1600s till the 1850s, the word grocery referred to a place where people went to drink. That's weird.
1 second.
Let's see. Like I said, short and sweet. As increasing numbers of staple foodstuffs became available in cans and other less perishable packaging, the trade expanded its province. Today, grocery deals in a wide range of staple foodstuffs, including such perishables as dairy products, meats, produce. Such goods are hence called groceries. So here we are, into the modernization of grocery stores. And even, the concept of it has been around for a long time. The thing that's changed the most in grocery stores, I've got to say, is probably...
Jeff Bezos.
Well, in a way, yeah. And by that, I mean technology. There used to be a time where I don't think starting out, you couldn't even use credit cards in grocery stores. Of course, credit cards didn't exist for a while, but once credit cards were introduced, you couldn't immediately use them in grocery stores.
I can just imagining a knight walking into a shop in the 14th century. I just got good sir. I did have a debit card, but I lost it when I got an arrow to the knee.
Yes.
I could not pay for your dragon bones.
Would you like to pay cash or card? I would pay with either. But perhaps there is an issue. I've lost all my limbs to an evil rabbit.
So I must steal. Confiscate your stolen goods or pay the fine or it's off the jail. No, I will not pay my fines. Then it pay with your blood.
The first self-service grocery store
Stop, you violated the law.
1916 in Memphis, Tennessee. Good old Memphis, Tennessee.
Long distance information. Give me Memphis, Tennessee. That's a good song. Chuck Berry.
Yeah, classic Chuck. All right, so
how much wood would Chuck?
We'll just keep it at that. Here we go. Let's just make a quick list here. So, grocery stores such as Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, Walmart, Kroger. I've never been to a Kroger. I think that's a...
Does that have to do with Fred Meyer?
I believe so. I think Kroger's related to Fred Meyer and Safeway. But I think we're on the East Coast, right?
We're on the West.
We're on the West Coast. So that must be an East Coast thing. My guess. Like a Southern, maybe a Southern thing. I don't know. And then we got Walmart, Target. Target sucks, by the way. Don't go there. Dollar General, I like that place.
You know what's funny to me? Target seems to be more like left leaning, but
Oh,
they're
very
red.
left-leaning.
Walmart seems to be more right leaning, but they're blue.
I did always think that was funny. Yeah, we won't get into politics, but yeah, Walmart and like Fred Meyer.
I'm talking about their customer base. I'm sure the companies are both
Next time someone,
crap.
yeah, honestly, they both care about money at the end of the day. Politics are nothing to them.
Get a look close.
Oh yeah, politics are nothing to them, but yeah, that's the irony of it all. All right, well, let's get cracking. Technology, as I was saying, but yeah, so I don't. You guys probably, most people listening to this probably don't even know how credit cards started at grocery stores, but they used to have these like plastic and metal sliders, and honestly, I'm not quite sure how they worked. I think they had a wire that ran from them into this computer, and that's how you would check your cards. But yeah,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
back before we had the actual electronic ones we have now for your card. Sorry. We had these little sliders, and if you're curious what that looks like, well, I'm sure if you watch an 80s movie, you'll eventually see it. One specific one I could tell you that it's in is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. When they check into the hotels, you'll see them using like these, they do like these click things.
I've never seen it. I still need to see it.
It's such a classic film. It's the only Thanksgiving film that I know of, and it's honestly the best one I've seen. Anyway, I definitely want to cover that one.
What's the name of the actor in that
eventually.
movie? I always get confused with Chris Farley
got
because they're
two.
both fat.
John Candy. Classic
Okay.
John Candy. Honestly, I think I would say, in my personal opinion, John Candy's better than Chris Farley, but that's for another podcast. So yeah, technology in grocery stores. We had the sliders, and eventually we moved to actual computer chip, things. You put your thing in, and then it goes beep beep, and you pull your card out.
Well, we used to have cashiers, but now everything is self-checkout, which is dumb.
Yeah, exactly. So we used to have all that, where you actually take your groceries through.
I think
and
that's
we do, but
I think that's mainly for money, so they don't have to pay a person to work there. They just have a computer do it, and then they get more money.
well, yeah, computers are taking over our jobs, and we're going to try and limit this to grocery right now, but again, another good podcast topic right there. But yeah, computers are taking over our jobs. Self-checkout has been, just crazy. Personally, I love it because it's honestly a way to screw over the man, and if you're wondering what that means, I can tell you later. But yeah, self-checkout it's a blessing and a curse. They complain, they claim, there's been tons of stories across the nation of, we're catching people stealing crap. And I'm like, are you really? And a lot of people are like, no, I wasn't stealing nothing. You guys are ridiculous. Yeah, I literally show you my receipt, which, by the way, you're not required to show them your receipt. So that's a fun fact. And the local Walmart I go to, half the time they don't even care. It's to a point where a lot of these people at Walmart just get paid to stand there. I mean, I'm not even kidding.
Well, there was people when there's the Walmart door greeters. Welcome to Walmart. Get your crap and get out.
Yeah, they don't have those
Is that
anymore.
tea not good or is it good? You look like you're half disgusted but half enjoying it. I don't know.
It's not great. So this is a organic yerba mate. Is that what they call it? Yerba mate? I don't freaking know.
What kind of liberal drink are you drinking?
Well, I
Are
was
you
looking...
drinking like the avocado toast of soda?
It's not even soda. It's just like, it's totally tea, but it's whack.
What?
It's not the worst thing. I'll tell you this.
Is it vegan friendly?
I think it is, which is part of the problem. That's it. There's no beef flavor. There should be
Yeah.
beef or chicken flavor. This should taste like ramen noodle, like liquid,
And it should taste like straight up ranch dressing.
Exactly. If I'm not drinking something with ranch dressing in it, or god dang. If I ain't drinking no ranch dressing or any ramen noodle broth, I don't want it.
Oh, I know someone who's just going to hate this part of the podcast.
Yeah, it's
Well,
not
I'm going
great.
to love it.
No, I'm usually an Arizona guy. Let me tell you, I'm going to keep it brief. Again, back to the grocery store topic. But Arizona, there's like 20 flavors out there, and you only see 3 or maybe 4 at the store. Even at Winco, there's like 20 flavors, but they only stock half of them. What is that about? Another good topic for
While
later.
we're talking about Winco and gross drinks, because it has to do with grocery stores.
And he used to work there, so take it away.
Can we just all agree that LaCroix sucks? It tastes like soda without the syrup, and it just tastes like.
Yeah.
It's the
This
most.
is not great, but it's still better than LaCroix.
It's the most disgusting soda type drink you ever drank. It's just gross. It has like no flavor, and it has a weird soda aftertaste. It's like you take a Coca-Cola, remove all the good syrup and flavor, and just
Basically.
soda,
yeah.
carbonated water. It's just gross. I mean, I've had carbonated water drinks like the sparkling ice waters that are flavored like black raspberry and all those are good. But LaCroix is not the same. LaCroix is just disgusting.
LaCroix, the TV static of our generation. Now in a can.
Pretty much. I mean, that's the best way to describe it. It tastes like nasty. They took TV static and squeezed it and put it in a can.
There's no good way. If you're going to get rid of the sugar, there's just about no good way to drink a seltzer. And honestly, seltzers are not that great anyway. Like, you go with, what's the other one? There's one called Bubbly. I've had that one.
That one's gross too.
Still the same. It's basically the same thing as LaCroix. Absolute crap. Just dog water, basically. I mean, it's terrible. And they got... New York seltzer is pretty good, but here's why. It's got sugar. Lots of sugar.
Sugar.
You just can't... I feel like you can't take the sugar out of it and have a good seltzer. Like, seltzers are just... sometimes I wonder if we're even meant to drink seltzers, you know? Like, it's just kind of wet. And if you drink White Claw, you are gay, all right? I'm just going to put that out there.
I'm going to have to edit that one out.
Why?
I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. It's up to you. I don't care.
I think everyone needs to hear this. LaCroix is for gays, all right? I don't even care. I'll stop it there before it gets too crazy.
You're going to get us canceled.
No, we'll be fine. I'd only get us canceled if it was wrong. LaCroix is terrible. And, you know, LaCroix is for these frat guys who think they're something, but they're really not, and they're trying to impress some girl. And it's the quickest way to get hammered without, like, having the hangover. I mean, you still have one, but it doesn't hit as hard. But anyway... I mean, as far as I've heard, I've never done it because I don't drink LaCroix.
I feel like 9 out of 10 people who drink LaCroix are women, it seems like.
Well, yeah, like women like LaCroix. And you know what? That's fine. If women like it, whatever.
Even when we were going to the young adult group, the only people who drank LaCroix was
were
the
women.
Yeah.
It's a sissy drink, all right? If you're a girl, that's nothing wrong with that. But if you're a guy, get it out of here. Drink something manly like
Mountain Dew! We had the same thought.
Yep.
And Doritos!
Imagine if they made Doritos.
360 quick scope MLG gamer.
Listen, I'm telling you
Remember
right
those
now.
memes? Those are cringe.
Yes. Listen, PepsiCo, I'm telling you right now. If you make a liquid Dorito, we will drink it.
What about
What are you waiting for?
What about
we know there's a can hidden in the back right now, and you're waiting to release it. Just make a Doritos flavored Mountain Dew. We will consume it.
What about a Mountain Dew flavored Dorito?
I think they tried that once. I don't know.
Remember when they put
If you did try it, bring it back. If you haven't tried it, let's go. Freaking get it out here. Let's
Remember
go.
when they made gingerbread Mountain Dew? That was weird.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
It was weird, but
Honestly, though, the best Christmas Mountain Dew was it cranberry? I think it was called Merry Mashup or whatever, cranberry flavor. And they took it away. They took the cranberry dew from us.
remember the Pepsi and Mountain Dew throwbacks when they had real sugar instead of
those are pretty
instead
good.
of high carbonate. Wait, what's it called? High fructose corn syrup.
Yeah,
there.
yeah, 100% sugar.
And they had real sugar.
I think they still sell those.
I haven't seen them in a long time.
I
This
think
is definitely
Safeway-
going to be our longest podcast, but I'm fine.
Oh,
with
no doubt. Safeway still sells them, I think. But yeah. And Mountain Dew do shine in the bottles. That stuff was so
where they
good.
had the Mountain Dew throwback, had the photo of the guy with the cowboy hat and he's
Yep.
shooting, and
It'll
goes,
tickle your innards.
and it goes through his hat. He
Yep.
shoots the gun and it goes right through his cap.
Okay, so you worked at Winco, huh?
Yeah,
Tell us
and
some Winco
Walmart.
stories. Well, tell us some grocery stories.
I'm gonna start with well, the Walmart one's the oldest story, but I'm probably gonna start with some Winco stories because those are the ones I remember the most.
All right.
So Winco. What topic do you want me to start with? Customers or weird service animals, or what do you want me to start with?
How about tell us
Or management?
just tell us your craziest Winco stories.
That's a hard one because they're all crazy. But
Well,
all right, I'm gonna
just throw one out
start
there.
with the turkey one because that's the easiest one. So they have this buy $100 worth of groceries and get a free turkey sale.
Right. This
But-
is probably around Thanksgiving, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But the sale wasn't started yet. It started like the week later. But this guy comes in with his son, and he thinks it's the sale started. So he buys $100 of groceries without even reading the sign saying it doesn't start for another week. And then he starts yelling at me. He's like, "Where's my free turkey?" I'm like, it doesn't start for another week. I bought $100 worth of groceries and I don't even get a free turkey. And his son's right there, learning from him, like setting a bad example for his kid. Then he goes over to the man, like lead supervisor, and is like, "I hate this guy. He won't give me my free turkey." And they're like, "Dude, calm down." And then I got cussed out over a turkey.
Jeez. Did they give him the turkey?
No.
It's okay. Did he like run out like screaming then, or like in a temper, or what?
I think he calmed down, but he was still pissed. I've seen weird service animals. I mean, I've seen dogs, and they're not even service animals, and they put them in the cart, which is not against the rules. You're not supposed to put animals in the cart there. I swear, I don't remember. I swear I either saw someone with a lizard or someone with some weird type of flying squirrel. One of those two. Somebody brought in some weird exotic animal, and I was like, huh? How, what? Who brings a flying squirrel into Winco? What are you?
How would you even domesticate a flying squirrel?
I don't even know if it was a flying squirrel, but it was some weird squirrel type thing.
Was it a ferret?
No, it wasn't. It was like some weird...
Definitely had a big bushy tail.
It was some weird animal, kind of like a squirrel or a chipmunk, but it wasn't a squirrel or a chipmunk. It was some weird exotic animal.
A gerbil?
No.
Huh. I don't know what it'd be if it was exotic, but interesting. Very interesting.
You know, when COVID was happening, they had us shut down 10 minutes early to clean our checkout stand. Right?
Sure.
And so after COVID was gone, because Joe Biden said so,
pretty much.
They changed the rule, but they didn't tell me. They did not tell me they changed the rule. They just changed it. So I shut down 10 minutes early and started cleaning my station.
As you were told, yeah.
And the lead supervisor calls me up on the little checkout stand's cell phone. Was like, or phone there, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm cleaning my checkout stand because that's what I've been told to do." And they're like, "You're not supposed to do that anymore." I'm like, no one told me. Turn it back on. You got 5 minutes still. I'm like, okay, geez. So I start cleaning. I turn it back on, and then the next day the lead manager calls me in their office, said you had rude to the lead clerk. Customers were complaining. I'm like, I don't think I was rude. I was just like confused because I was doing what I've been told, and then they changed the rules, and now I'm gonna have to get up for it. This is bull crap.
Yeah, honestly.
I refused to sign the paper, and like, well, I don't care if you sign it or not. You're still in trouble. So yeah, I don't know. That was bull crap.
Yikes.
Yep,
the days of working in retail.
I got more stories, but I'm kind of drawing a blank. Oh yeah. So when I was working at Winco, I was doing security for like a week before I switched positions because I realized it was just not safe for minimum wage. You don't get no protection whatsoever. At least like doing some like law enforcement thing, you would probably get like a bulletproof vest or something. Well, Winco security, you get no training whatsoever, get paid minimum wage, and you're supposed to tackle people, which just didn't seem safe. There was literally a guy in the parking lot running around with a machete. I was like, huh, okay. Well, this is Salem, Oregon for you.
The farther you go up north, the worse it gets too. We don't even talk about
they show me things that happen in Portland that will like
scar you.
Some guys should. I can't get into it, but it's cursed.
Yeah, some dark stuff up there, bro. The world.
I'll tell you after the podcast.
The world is dangerous.
I'll let you take over, and then I'll come back later with my egg story once we start talking about management more.
All right. Well, so let's see. I have some retail experiences of my own. I gotta remember. It's been so long. I mean, I'm 22 now. This was back when I was like 16. So this was like one of my first jobs. I think it was my first job. I used to be a merchandiser for Reese's Fine Foods. You know, the guys with the potato salad that everybody loves. We got all kinds of different stuff. Macaroni salad. The loaded potato is delicious, by the way. but it's kind of overpriced. Everything's overpriced these days, but let's be honest. Let's see. I started out when I was 16. I was still finishing high school, so I only worked like 1 day a week. My dad was good friends with one of the guys, so we had an in where he was okay with me working like 1 day. It wasn't a big deal. I was assisting the merchandiser, and this guy, he'd drive around the truck. He'd deliver to grocery stores, local grocery stores, and he would basically, I'd help him load crap onto the cart, and we'd take the crap in. There's always one person assigned to the back of the store where they would read the receipt, make sure everything's there, and then we go into onto the actual floor and we stock it, like in the store. I cannot tell you how many times I'd be wearing I think my typical work shirt was like a blue plaid short sleeve shirt, and I had no logos on it or anything. I didn't even have a logo for the company I was working for. I don't even think I had a hat, so much as a hat. But I kid you not, as they'd see me stocking, and they'd be like, "Oh, do you work here?" Or most of the time, an old lady would come up, and they would be like, "Do you know where this is?" And I'm like, "Well, I've been to the store because I live in this area, so I'll answer your question anyway." But
Titus, stalking people ain't legal.
Well, it all depends on the spelling, my friend. All depends on the spelling. But yeah, I do sometimes miss the days where old ladies would ask me, "Where's the cheese, young laddie?" Or, could you find the ice cream? Could you help? They had this sauce last week, and I can't seem to find this particular bottle of sauce.
Or the occasional middle-aged man who, with his son, he's setting a bad example for, yelling at you, "Where's my turkey?"
Yeah. You guys have any turkeys yet? I was told if I buy $100 in stock in Winco, I get a free turkey. No, sir. I don't work here. I just buy the Arizona teas.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Sir, please calm down. But yeah, honestly, in all the grocery stores I delivered to, I didn't have very many run-ins with people. I mean, that was about it. It's just, old ladies asking me where stuff is. Let's see. I delivered to the Safeways. I'm trying to go through and think of anyone I might have. No. It was pretty normal. I mean, part of the deal is because we usually delivered to a lot of these stores. I mean, we were done delivering by like noon every day, which this is on the local route. This was like, the county. But anyway, yeah, we'd have all the stores delivered by noon, so there were, there's no run-ins with people. Most run-ins with crazy people happen usually in the afternoon or especially like night, like late at night. But yeah, nothing exciting really here. I did lose my job there, and this was after I worked there about a year, I think. Yeah, I worked there about a year, and then they decided, hey, do you want to stock the trucks? And so that position led me to just stay at the warehouse. Sorry
okay?
about that. Yeah, I'm fine. Time for more tea. Or maybe it's the tea that's doing it.
Probably. It's all that vegan sauce.
It's all the vegan phlegm in there. All the liberal tears are clogging my sinuses. But, yeah, after about a year, they had me stay at the warehouse, and I'd come in every day, and it'd take about an hour or two, and I would just load the truck with all the stuff that we'd need for the next day.
Load that truck.
And, one day, they have you back up the truck under this dock so you can load the crap on there.
I don't like where this is going.
You probably know where it's going. I don't think I've told you, but you probably know where it's going. But you had to open the door, which is like this freaking accordion thing. I mean, there's like 3 sections. Anyways, you fold up the door, put it on the side of the truck, and you hook it to this little metal thing that barely holds it on. Okay? Well, I hooked it on there, and I back up the truck, I get out, and you can't really see, how the truck looks against the dock till you walk back into the warehouse and look from inside. So I park the truck, I get in there, I look, and then I notice that like half the back of the truck is like covered, and I'm like, that's weird. And I'm like, and it for a second it didn't register, and then I'm like, oh crap. The door had come unhooked from the tiny little metal latch on the left side, and it basically broke. It malfunctioned. Of course, they're gonna blame it on me, but it malfunctioned. So the door swung in front of the truck as I was backing up, and the truck's so big you don't even notice if it's behind. And sure enough, like an accordion, just all three of them squished together, and it just smashed the door into the dock. So of course I pull it forward. I'm starting to, I'm freaking out. I'm definitely like standing there thinking, if I can get this to close, I just won't tell anybody. In which, I was 16. Typical thing for a teenager to say, like, I'm going to fix it so nobody notices until it looks like the other person broke it, right? Well, I'm trying to get that door closed, and it's so smashed that I just can't get it to push flat up against the truck enough for it to close. And so at that point, I just cut my losses. I'm like, you know what? That's the way it's going to be. So I call up my supervisor, and, of course, as he should be, he was kind of ticked off. Honestly, he handled it better than I figured he would, but he definitely wasn't happy. Funny thing is, we had just got the supervisor, like, just, I don't know, maybe a month before this happened. And the previous one was the one that I got hired on with, who's still to this day a good buddy of ours, good family friend. But he moved on to do other things. But, yeah, needless to say, he wasn't too happy, but things kind of worked out in the end. I mean, I don't think it was fair to me, because they let me go, of course. And here's why I don't think it was fair, okay? So, like a week later, was it? No, it was like the next day, like immediately. Like the next day or 2 days later, he got a brand new truck. We're talking like $1 million like worth brand new freezer truck. I mean, beautiful. The thing was cherry red. He still drives it, of course. I mean, but a couple days later we got that, and he had to move everything from the old freezer truck to the new one. Okay, that's an inconvenience. That sucks. But now he has this nice new truck that he drives everywhere, and everything in it works. And I mean, the other one was like an old truck from like the early 80s, barely functioning. So he got basically a brand new truck out of it, and he didn't have to pay for it. But, of course the company, had a little setback with that door. But it's like, okay, so I made a small mistake, I guess let me go. I was a 16-year-old kid, so whatever, It was best for me to move on. I could go on and on about, getting fired from jobs, which is probably not good. But
I don't think I've ever been fired. I've been laid off once. I quit once.
That's the nice way of saying fired. Well, it depends on when you were laid off from.
So my Walmart job I quit because I hated Walmart with an absolute passion. Safeway and Winco, I put my 2 weeks notice in, so I weren't fired or anything. I put my 2 weeks notice in because Safeway is a step up from Walmart, and Winco is a step up from Safeway. So I was getting better jobs.
Yep.
And then my recent job that I just got for part-time while I'm working towards my career thing, I was laid off because the business wasn't doing very well, and it was a private-owned business. So the business guy's like, I can't afford to pay you, so I'm gonna lay you off. So it wasn't my fault.
Awkward.
So right now I'm just waiting. I'm just working on my schooling right now. So.
You'll get that with these small businesses.
So I have money saved up.
Unfortunately.
Save up until I get that done, and then hopefully I can get a career out of what I'm working towards.
Yeah, good luck with that. It's a tough world for us young adults right now. I just lost my job.
Weren't you doing demolition?
Yeah, I'll keep it short. But yeah, I worked demo for like over a year.
So I started. For people who don't know what demoing is, tell them.
Demo! That's pretty much it.
Basically,
you destroy stuff. You literally, you destroy stuff. Sometimes you do the big ones that you'll see on TV and movies and whatnot, but oftentimes it'll be more like we have to separate from a certain part, and there's parts we can't destroy, and there's parts we can destroy, but we have to be very careful right in the middle.
Basically, when they're remodeling a building or taking old building down that's not unsafe, and they're tearing it down and putting something new there, the demolition people are the ones that are blowing it up and taking it down.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever use dynamite or anything like that?
Not to my knowledge, but
or just manpower, just like bam.
I think we have used explosives, but me personally, I haven't done it, and I haven't seen it in person. However, for those of you that know about OSU and the stadium, My company took down that stadium. I have a pretty awesome video of it. We basically set up some sort of explosives.
So you weren't there. You just.
I wasn't there, but I got an awesome video, so that makes it all worth it. And it's cool to say that I worked for the company that imploded the old stadium at OSU. That's a big deal.
But you weren't part of it.
No, but that's okay. I worked for that company. And the irony is I was hired with them when they did that, but I just didn't get to. But
that's unfortunate.
yeah, I didn't even get to watch it, but I bet it was cool. The video was cool enough. I'm sure seeing it in person would be even better. But with that being said, yeah, Demolition. I was on them. I was with them from November of 21 until January of this year, and I mean like right at the start, like. Holidays were over. They called me in the Wednesday after New Year's, and so 2 days after break ended basically, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna let you go," and they just said they didn't. They were very, very vague. They're just like, "Yeah, we're gonna let you go. It's best for the business, best for the company." And let me tell you, I guarantee at least a handful of people that worked a lot less than I did there that are just getting off with a slap on the hand. So. If you guys are interested in that, I'll talk about that
because they
later.
didn't give you an explanation. It sounds like you were fired.
Oh yeah, I was fired, but they said we'll have to let you go. But they're nice guys though, in a way. I mean, that's hard to say, 'cause, but they literally said they're like, hey, if you want people to call us for reference, we'd be glad to give you a good reference. We don't dislike you. I mean, we actually enjoy you personally, but it's for the business. And I was like, well, whatever, I wasn't going to argue with them. I mean, me personally, I want people to tell me if I have flaws. If I'm doing wrong with my job, I want people to tell me, like, hey, you could do better in this, or you got to watch out for this or that. But they didn't. They didn't say nothing. They were very vague. But, yeah. So, definitely not going to get into the grocery game, though. I've had enough of that through high school. I feel like grocery jobs
not doing retail again.
No. Grocery jobs and fast food jobs should be set aside for kids in high school or graduating high school or the first couple years of adulthood. But you should never rely on them as a career. That's my opinion. I mean, unless you're making like some livable wage from being a manager, I guess, whatever. But the reason I say that is because from my perspective, it's not tolerable. Just the amount of crazy people you have to deal with, and the world has become more selfish and more evil. People have no tolerance anymore. Everyone's yelling at you. I mean, Tyler can tell you what all the jobs he's worked at, nothing he did. He got nothing but yelled at all the time for stupid stuff. It's just, yeah, I could not tolerate it as a career, for a lifelong career. No
I got yelled at and had written up because I put a rubber band in the wrong drawer.
Yeah. It's pathetic.
Yeah, like I hate the customer's always right thing. So if the customer's being rude to you, you have to be nice to them. Yep. The management are the only people who can talk back to the customer. If you're just a normal employee, you talk back, you get in trouble. But they can cuss at you all day long, but you can't do anything unless the managers can yell at the customers, but customers can't.
Yep.
Or normal employees can't, which doesn't make sense.
Yeah, the retail world is designed like a Coke bottle. The bottom of the barrel is very wide, and then towards the top, it gets thinner. And there's certain people who sit right in the middle. They have a little bit of movement. Then there's the people at the top that can't go down. They can only stay where they are. And so, yeah, crap. They used to tell me the demo world, crap rolls downhill.
Okay, did I ever tell you my story about Walmart and how I was talking to a coworker because he was in the military at one point, and I was considering joining the National Guard at that time, but long story short, I never was able to because they disqualified me because I'm diagnosed with autism, but I still find that stupid because it doesn't really affect me that much at all. But anyway, so I was talking to a coworker about the military and what his experiences was because it's a big decision, so might as well ask somebody who's been in it. And long story short, he didn't recommend it, but
and this was night shift, right?
Yeah,
so we're a night shift with this guy.
There's on break at lunch.
Yeah,
overnight stocking shelves.
So not only are you talking, but you're there in the break room, right? With him. So.
And Walmart the next day called me into the office and said, and they told me, why were you talking about guns? Why were you talking about military? Or why were we whatever? And they had me write on a piece of paper promising I wouldn't shoot up Walmart. I had to write on a paper promising I was just talking about the military and I'm not going to mass shoot Walmart. I'm like, what kind of place is this? How
Honestly,
can be talking about military wanting to serve your country
be taken as I'm going to shoot up the plate? Yeah, that's ridiculous.
What are your thoughts on that one?
My thoughts are, it's like, people that are going to do crap like that, you're likely not going to know. You're not going to hear about it. They're going to keep quiet. The only thing you're going to notice is probably some, like, body cues. Like, they're going to, they might be shaking or acting a little weird. But they're not going to talk about it. They're not going to be like, yeah, dude, tomorrow I'm going to shoot up the Walmart. No. It's like there was, I don't remember what it was. It was in Atlanta or something. I did just recently read a story about this guy that, like, shot up Walmart. And he, like, shot, like, a whole bunch of people. A lot of them were, like, teenagers. It was terrible. Well, absolutely brutal. But I would almost guarantee you this guy wasn't talking about it in the break room. I mean, he probably didn't say much. He just probably snapped one day and just went off,
Well, this Walmart was probably extra paranoid because literally the year before or a couple months before, like, somebody set fire to it, so...
Was that the one with the chlorine bomb?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was brutal.
So probably they were probably a bit paranoid, but still, to relate mass shooting to somebody talking about joining the military is just freaking ridiculous.
They probably were on edge, honestly. Yeah, dude, a few months, I couldn't tell you, it was a couple years ago or so, but yeah, somebody, like, set this, like, chlorine... I think they got some, like, didn't they get, like, a car liquid or something?
I think they mixed two pool supplies. They took pool supplies and mixed them together.
Pool supplies and, like, antifreeze, I think, and they straight up made, like, a chlorine bomb. And it spread everywhere. I mean, this local Walmart had to throw away, like, millions of dollars of clothing and fruit and everything.
They even had to throw away the TVs.
Jeez. That's a bit much. I can't imagine stuff like that's going to kill you if you took that home.
Like, it has like the chemicals on it and stuff that can kill you.
Well, maybe they did. I don't know. But yeah, they had to throw away all this crap. They basically had to shut down the Walmart and clear it out and start from scratch. It was wild. But yep, that's probably the most exciting thing that's happened in this small town in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Not a lot going on down here. Yeah, lots of crazy customers out there, And, here's one we could do a poll on. How many of you care about, like, if everything is nice and tidy and neat on all the shelves? Like, if it's there, you can see it and you can grab it and go. Is that what you care about? Or do you care if 20 of them are sitting perfectly in a row for you to have access to?
Oh, we're talking about zoning now.
We're going to talk about zoning, yeah.
I think that's what they called it at Walmart. So basically, that is when the shelf stockers are done stocking the shelves, and then the management wants you to line everything up on the shelf to look like everything's perfectly full when it's really not. They want everything to line up so it just looks like an advertisement. Everything just looks perfect.
Yeah.
I don't think a single person cares that this box is not slightly aligned with this one. This can is turned the other way. As long as they know what it is, they can grab it. It's not at the back of the shelf where they have to reach for it. It's in the front. They can reach for it and go. They don't care if it's lined up because as soon as one lady and her little kid comes in, it's going to be messed up anyway. So by the end of the day, it's not going to matter. So no one cares. But I got in trouble one time at Walmart. This was like the last straw at Walmart because I missed one box, and they were like, "Tomorrow we're going to bring you into the office and tell you about you need to work on your discipline and make this look better." I'm like, "Okay, I'm done."
Yeah.
But speaking about dumb Walmart management, you want to hear about the egg story, Titus?
Yeah, you keep telling me about this egg story, and I haven't heard it, so go ahead.
It's not as fascinating as I make it out to be, but it was like...
anything involving an egg is probably funny.
So, we were stocking the shelves overnight.
As you do.
And after we stocked this one aisle, the management, there was stuff on the like dirt on the floor. So the management...
dirt on the floor!
The shift supervisor comes in, sweeps the floor, and he's like... Everyone, I want to show you how much I trust that this floor is clean. I will prove to you all that this floor is clean and I do an immaculate job on cleaning this floor. So this man takes an egg, he throws it on the ground, the egg cracks, so you just have a raw egg on the ground.
Yeah.
He bends over, scoops the egg and its yolk up with his pinky and slurps it off his pinky. And he's like, See? Clean. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, gosh.
I'm
that's
like,
nasty.
what? It's still a Walmart floor. I don't care how well you sweeped it. It's still a Walmart floor. And it's a raw egg. What are you thinking, man?
Oh. If you lived around here and you took one look at the left side of the parking lot, and you saw all those trailers and RVs, you would understand why this is disgusting. God only knows the amount of dirty, nasty people that probably come in with flip-flops, like barely a pair of shoes on. They're just walking through, covered in dirt and grease and pus and God knows, just all the nasty liquids. Oh.
I was in total disbelief.
This guy just eats an egg right off the...
You know, it like literally, he was like this. He goes... Tasty. My floor is clean now. See? I'm proving it. And I'm just like...
That's pretty nasty, bro. Yeah,
I've never told you... Have I told you that story before?
Nope, that's news to me.
I'm glad I saved it for the podcast to hear your genuine reaction. Or genuine reaction.
That's whack, dude. That is whack. Yep.
It's definitely our longest podcast. It's 41 minutes so far.
41?
Yeah. 41.
Should we stretch it to an hour?
If you have more to talk about. We're going to talk about the switch to online retailing.
I was gonna, yeah. I can't think of any more personal stories. But if I do, we'll talk about those later. We can bring them up later. But, yeah.
I know what you were doing in the back room. I know what you were doing. I was watching.
Oh.
I caught it on tape. What?
Wait a minute.
The security footage shows it all.
Yeah.
We'll find out what you did.
Technology, in my opinion, is hurting people more.
I don't know, that's stupid.
It's hurting people more than it's benefiting them. And grocery stores are a perfect example. I mean, we already talked about, self-checkouts and how they're just a joke and, everybody's on edge now about them. But, oh, my gosh. You know what I could tell you about? I could tell you about the security in these grocery stores. Oh, my Lord.
Oh, yeah. Winco, they literally have a couple guys sitting in a room, and they're watching the security cameras all day long. Mm-hmm. And some cameras can move, some are stationary. And Winco's one of the last stores that their loss prevention security guards literally pin you to the ground, bring you in the room in handcuffs, and they interrogate you for stealing stuff. Winco takes their security freaking extreme.
I can't.
There's just
confirm.
And they slam you against the wall, and then they shake you down, and your heroin needles fall on the ground. I've seen them pin people because I was training to be one of the security people, but I decided against it. But it takes a person to risk their life for $14 an hour, and I was not want to risk my life for $14 an hour.
Yeah, I can't confirm. I know two people who have worked security at retail. I know someone who used to work loss prevention at Walmart, and it was a freaking joke. And then, after getting fired from that for basically taking his job too seriously, I think he did security. No, he didn't. He just did production. He did production up at, what was it? The Amazon warehouse in Salem. Let me tell you, dude, if you think retail is bad, working in a warehouse is like 10 times as bad.
You should tell your Lowe's story. Some Lowe's stories.
Yeah, I might save that for later. Because that's more production, not grocery. Like, Lowe's isn't really a grocery store.
I know, but it's still a store.
Well, I know, but we don't want the cast to drag on too long, because I could go on for a while.
I still like the video you show me of the guy who, when he quit his job, he wrote up the belt like the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, I have like a 5-second vid taken on a terrible phone, but I got it from some buddies. This is after I left Lowe's. I used to work at Lowe's Distribution here, and yeah, the way they treat people is pretty bad. I hear Target is worse though, like Target Distribution, which is another town over. But yeah, there's a video of this guy who just took a cardboard box, an empty one, and rode up the conveyor belt, the spiral, on the box, and he made like a fake little flag in the background,
and
he has the Pirates of the Caribbean theme playing on his phone.
That building is huge. I've never been in it or close to it, but from far away it looks huge. You look at the Google Maps, the building itself is bigger than the entire high school's property. It's like huge. How big is it? You've been in it.
It is. I don't know how big it is, but it's probably like 5 or 6 miles. Maybe.
So when you go in there and turn on the lights, is it like the warehouse in Indiana Jones where it just keeps going?
Kind of, sort of. All the lights nowadays have been updated, and they have like sensors on them. So if there's like, because they have lights for each aisle now, so if there's not any movement in an aisle, the lights will shut off in that aisle. But yeah, honestly, like any other job, like there's goods and there's bads that come from it. And I kind of liked Lowe's a lot. I mean, I got to a position where I got to drive this sweet little cart around, and I'd be hauling the trash can bins or whatever, and I'd be the trash man. I'm the trash man, you know? And that was a lot of fun. Eventually it did get difficult. I mean, you had to keep up. You were one person doing trash for the entire warehouse, and you had to keep up with it. Sometimes the baler would get full, so then you couldn't dump the trash, and all the bins would fill up, and you have like 30 bins just sitting there full of trash. You're like, hey, I need more. So yeah, I mean, that's how production is. You know, it never stops. It's like the city that never sleeps, you know, is production.
Another topic is like when I was doing cashiering and it was COVID, I saw there was like this one guy who came in the store every once in a while. He's a complete germaphobe. So he didn't want you to touch his items. He wanted to hold it and scan it for you. He reached over the register and he scanned it, then he wiped it down, and then he paid with his card with a glove on, and he didn't want you to touch anything. It was really weird. I was like, how what?
Those are the people that are gonna die first. You know it. They're gonna catch some like super bad disease,
and they're not going to be immune to it.
Exactly. I'm not,
they're not used to it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah, all those people that wore masks and they got let's not get into that. It's not.
I think the guy is just a normal germaphobe because he was before or after COVID already.
Yeah, it could be. There were germaphobes before COVID, but even before that, as I said,
that reminds me.
Those people are gonna be weak. They're gonna have weakened immune system.
You know the Cat in the Hat?
Yeah.
Where the guy's like shakes his hand and he it squirts with the sanitizer and it says he shakes his hand and because he's a germaphobe, he looks down. Fired. You're fired.
That movie was a fever dream, man. That movie was crazy.
Fired.
But yeah, I want to get back into security here real quick. As I said, I knew someone who worked security. They did loss prevention at Walmart.
How was that? I don't think they're allowed to do physical contact at Walmart. So
loss prevention at Walmart is a joke. And if you've been to the Walmart that I've gone to, enough within the last few years, you'll know. And I think there's actually a national thing, or maybe it's just on this coast, whatever. But they've changed the layout of the Walmarts in like the last 2 years.
Every store's changing the layouts.
Yeah, but I mean specifically, they've opened up the parts that don't make any sense. Like the part over at the electronics aisle used to be all closed off. They had one entrance, and at the entrance, there's a little like bell, like a digital, kind of like if you walk into like a 7-Eleven. There's one entrance that you walk into the electronics aisle, and by golly, if you're gonna steal something, they're gonna freaking catch you. And, by the time you make it out of there, they'll alert the guys up front, and then those guys will catch you before you even exit the store. Now, at the Walmarts, every single aisle just about is wide open. I mean, even in the electronics, wide open. You can walk right through them. The only way they've counteracted this for the most part, I mean, like a lot of the stuff like records and CDs, you can still jab those, which obviously they must not care. But a lot of the stuff now is like behind glass, like these stupid sliding glass things. And they literally, I could go on and on about security. There's a lot of things I can go on about. I like to rant. But the security it's a joke. I mean, they complain about their revenue and how much money they're losing by people stealing some things out the door. But they also want to be politically correct, and they don't want the security touching anybody or, making people feel uncomfortable. And I'm like, bud, you're literally stealing stuff. Like, your comfort level completely went out the door. I don't care how you feel. You're stealing. Give me my crap back. Like, that doesn't belong to you.
Yeah, but here's the difference. Walmart's like, can you please not steal? That's
Yeah.
not very nice.
Yeah.
Please. Winko's like, America! Yeah!
Get over here! Just tackles
Just
him.
freaking tackles, shoves against the wall, like pats him down, steals their heroin needs out the pocket. You're going to jail, bud!
It's true though. Winco gets down to business. Walmart, it's a joke. They don't care. I've heard that the one in Salem,
I think the reason why is because Winco is like they say it's employee owned.
they're independently owned, right?
So every employee after working there for 10 years, so basically selling their soul, every employee after selling their soul to Winco for 10 years gets a stock in the company, but you have to sell your soul by working there 10 years. Get stock in the company, so they say they're employee owned. So that means if you steal, you're stealing stock from the employees. So they hire these badass loss prevention people to tackle people, because when they steal from the store, they're technically stealing from everyone who works there, not just the CEO.
That's true, because everybody's losing revenue.
Yeah, that's why Winco takes it so seriously.
That's probably why big businesses like Walmart don't care, yet they complain about it. Well, this is America. We're gonna just keep doing the same thing, and if we have bad results, we'll complain about it and do the same thing tomorrow. But yeah. No, Walmart's terrible. They don't want you touching or interacting with anybody. I know someone who also works security at Fred Meyer now, and it's the same situation. They're like, well, we don't want you interacting with people too much, and if they steal stuff, like, kind of follow them from a safe, respectable distance, and, hopefully they'll give the stuff back. But yeah, they want no interacting or no pulling things from people.
Walmart hasn't been the same since they got rid of the little smiley face.
I know, right? That logo is what kept Walmart standing, and now it's just selfish. But Winco,
hasn't been the same.
I think Winco is going to be one of the last stores that survives the apocalypse. Like,
I thought
Walmart will be the first to go. They'll blow up because of the mass population, people hiding. Safeways will be gone. Kroger, all of them. Fred Meyer, completely gone. Winco will stand the test of time because that'll basically be where all the guys with the guns and the heavy artillery hide. That's my theory for the zombie apocalypse.
I think Walmart and Winco have like the most drug induced people that shop there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess
because they're the
does.
cheap ones. Walmart and Winco are cheap, so you get more white trash and just crap.
The cheaper the store, the more white trash people you're going to get, and that's just a given.
I had a guy come in and was screaming at the management, and then he got banned from the store. It was hilarious. I was laughing my ass. Oh, did I ever tell you about the time when it was Easter and one of the employees I found out it was an employee, but he dressed up as the Easter bunny, comes running in the store just out of nowhere, just comes running in the store in a full Easter bunny suit, and I'm standing there looking up, and I just see this guy running in. I'm like, what? I just start laughing my ass off. The customer was like, what's taking so long? I'm like, I just can't. I'm laughing so hard. I cannot help my customer because this guy just comes running in with the Easter bunny suit. I'm full on expecting him just to run and jump onto the shelves and knock everything over because he's just running in waving his arms like the wacky inflatable tube man. I'm just like, what is going on here? Is this some prank or what is this? But another topic we were going to discuss if you're finished with yours, I don't want to.
I'm pretty much finished. I mean, the general thing is the security at a lot of these stores are a joke. And the bigger the company, the less they care about security, but yet they care so much about money. You think it would come full circle and they would let security do their job. And one more thing.
They're more worried about being sued than being sued by the criminal than losing the money from the thing the criminal steal.
I wish we still lived in a time where no one gave a crap about suing, and people were, actually had to take responsibility for their actions. Wow. I mean, it's ridiculous. These people are getting away with stuff, and the more that you tolerate it, the worse it's going to get. Because they're going to start small, and then they're going to go up and keep going until, one of these days someone's just going to rob the Walmart blind. And they're just going to, they could blow it up for all we know. I mean, it's obviously not far off at this point. People have already tried. It's insane. But the last thing I want to say is, I don't know about you guys, but any store I walk into and they have those stupid glass doors on all their aisles and stuff, the more I see those glass doors in there, the less I'm going to shop there for any of that. So, for example, if you go to Walmart right now, at least our local one, and the one the town over I know has this, pretty much all the sporting goods is behind glass, okay? And so, you know what? I'll just go to Bimart. Forget you, Walmart. I'm not going to spend, not only that, it's because of the lack of employees they have. They don't have time to open the glass, even if I wanted something. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of my money. I'm going to go to Bimart where they actually probably have better quality products anyway. Screw you, Ozark Trail. I mean,
I had another topic to talk about, but you brought up another topic. But I'm going to bring up this topic first because it directly ties into yours.
Go ahead.
So talking about those glass stores.
Yeah.
This is a sad state of society.
Mm-hmm.
They had to put a glass store on the condom aisle because too many underage kids were buying condoms, and they had to lock it to prevent underage sex.
Yeah, that is terrible.
That's sad.
Pretty bad.
So now you have to go up to a Walmart person and be like, "Can I get a condom, please? Can you unlock the door and let me get a condom?"
I mean, that's how it's been for a while, though. Like if you
sad.
If you go to any convenience store or pharmacy, you have to go up front to ask for condoms. You know.
Well, convenience stores not really, but Walmart they locked it. So
yeah, I mean, it's whatever. But that sucks. But that just shows the society we live in now. Now, I do want to say disclaimer for the glass thing. It's not that, I'm against it. I get the reason they have to put them on there. That's my point. It's like, I get it. People are stealing. But again, if you literally just leave all the crap open on the shelves like it should be and then have actual security and let them do their job, you don't have to worry about the glass. Think about how much money Walmart is wasting on putting these glass stupid doors on all their aisles and all their stores. I mean, it's just...
If somebody wanted it really bad, you know how easy it would be just take a hammer and go... Psh!
Right. I mean, really, because I'm pretty sure those sliding glass things don't have sirens. At least, maybe the ones the electronics do, but...
even if they did have sirens, what's the security going to do? Hey, that's not very nice.
Right? Like, if I see a nice backpack or, a pocket knife, I'd be like, oh, that's mine. Run outside with the backpack, and... If you have a backpack on, you might be able to get away with it. They won't even notice. But if you're running, of course. But yeah, we'll end on that topic. But security is a joke at these stores, and they just need to we need to go back to the Wild West, or we'd actually tackle people.
All right, one more topic that I wanted to discuss.
What is the topic here?
Uniforms.
Did
I ever discuss that with you?
Maybe some.
So stores have dress codes where Walmart, you have to wear a vest, which they don't really care what you wear anymore. Back in the old days, I heard they used to have to wear a certain dress code, but nowadays you can wear anything. Just wear your Walmart vest. Safeway.
Could you show up to work shirtless, but as long as the vest is on?
No, that's the one rule. Safeway, you had to wear a black collared shirt or like a red collared shirt, and I think
the old polo.
Black or gray polo is what you had to wear. You had to wear a black or gray polo. And that's what you had to wear at Safeway. I'm like, I wore a Hawaiian t-shirt pumping gas one day, and all the customers were like, oh, that's a nice shirt. Cool shirt. But the manager was like, if you bring in that shirt one more time, I'm going to write you up. I'm like, dude.
It was a collared shirt, wasn't it?
It was a collared
Hawaiian
shirt.
Shirts have collars?
It was a Hawaiian shirt, and it was a summer day. It was a Hawaiian shirt, and it's a summer day. I don't see the problem. People, every customer I saw was wearing one. No one cared. Yeah. They just want their gas.
They don't.
They don't give a crap what I was wearing as long as I'm wearing something.
Yeah.
They just want their gas and they want to leave. So why the heck does it matter what shirt I'm wearing? And Winco was really bad about this. They were like, it has to be a black collared shirt or a red collared shirt or a white collared shirt. If it's not a collared shirt and it's not black, red, or white, you're against dress code. I'm like, what?
It's so dumb. I don't get it.
Do you ever experience anything like that?
I mean, at my job, we more or less had a dress code. It wasn't super strict. Like, my merchandiser I used to work with, he would definitely always wear a collared shirt. And it was just, like, gray. But it had the Reese's logo on it. And he'd have, like, a red hat, this Reese's.
Like literally, if Winco, you're literally wearing an apron. They know you work there.
Yeah.
Why does it matter if I'm wearing a Beatles shirt? You know what I'm saying?
It's ridiculous.
As long as the shirt don't say F you, I don't see the problem.
Well, yeah, honestly, as far as modesty goes, it's whack because, our society is so backed up. I mean, like, you walk into a high school or you can talk with people or teachers who work at high schools, and, if you talk about dress code, they'll be like, oh yeah, our dress code is all whack. Now we have. Actually, I've actually talked with someone who works at one of the local high schools. He says the 2 zones now for dress code are 2 rectangles, and there's one right about the crotch region, and there's one right about the breast region. But
High five.
apparently, okay.
We made it to an hour.
Oh, all
But
right, full hour.
But with editing, it will probably be like 58 minutes. So
Probably, but whatever. But yeah, dress code is so messed up in a lot of places. It's like, I guess at the high schools now, there's like 2 square zones. Apparently, you can show your stomach to an extent, but it has to be like within 4 inches of the breast, I guess, is what I was told. Which is insane.
Put reference to the last episode. Put not off your cloth in presence of others, nor go out of your chamber half dressed.
Exactly.
Don't be nude in the middle of Walmart. I'm sure that's happened, but don't do it.
Especially in Walmart, or especially Portland Walmart.
Ugh.
San Francisco Walmart's probably welcome it. They're like, oh boy, here comes the nude people again.
Want a free TV that you didn't pay for? We don't care.
Right? Society is whack, man. Society is so whack. But, yeah, grocery stores have come a long way, It's exciting. There's a lot to be thankful for. I mean, grocery stores are very convenient.
Do you think they're going to last, or do you think everything's going to be online, which is going to suck?
That's a good topic. We might have to do a whole cast on that, actually, because,
I don't know how we're going to do a whole cast on just that, but...
Because I could talk about all the stores that we've lost to it and why they didn't survive. For example...
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
Sears is gone.
Yeah, we can talk about that kind of thing when we talk about Netflix and all that. Gone.
The one that we miss the most is... what was it? Actually, I miss Kmart the most, but a lot of people have nostalgia for Toys R Us.
Yeah,
to tell you the truth, Toys R Us is kind of overrated. I mean, as a store... It was magical to walk in there and see all the bright colors and the toys. That's cool.
We probably should save this for another episode then. But yeah, I do want to.
It could be a long topic, but the reality was Toys R Us super overpriced.
I do want to focus on just this one part of this, and we can save the rest for another podcast.
Okay.
The part where I just don't see ordering milk and stuff over the internet.
Ordering what?
Milk and stuff over the internet. I don't know. It just doesn't seem. It seems weird.
What would you order over the internet? Like
milk.
Dairy?
Yeah, I feel like ordering dairy and food over the internet is weird.
Milk.
Yeah.
Milk over the internet.
What I'm saying is, if things went to online, ordering food over the internet seems weird. I feel
Unless it's to-go food. But yeah, grocery store, which we're already doing that. There's grocery services. There's like Uber Eats, I think, or Uber Grocery, whatever. You can pay people to go shop for you and take it to your house. Now, here's the deal.
But let's say you're surfing through Amazon and you're like, I want to buy milk.
You can do that too. I'm pretty sure Walmart has like grocery, or Amazon I think has grocery delivery now, or something like that.
Milk straight from Jeff Bezos. Milk straight from Jeff Bezos.
Oh gosh, you didn't have to do that, but you did. No, times are wild.
Delivered in 6 days from UPS, and it's expired.
Pretty much.
That's that's just, I don't know. Well, now that you make the point, you can order food online, which that's just that's delivery service.
Yeah.
That's just like somebody going to the store and picking it up and bringing it to you. But I'm talking about actually ordering food from a warehouse and it's delivered.
It shipped to you? I don't know if they'll ever go about
that. Is just weird because, how do you know that people are keeping it preserved right?
Well, yeah, especially dairy products. You don't want to mess around with that. That's dangerous.
Why does my milk have worms in it? Ugh.
Straight from Utah. Go!
Mormon milk. Coming to a store near you. Straight from Mormon cows. Mormon milk.
Mormon milk infused with Pepsi Cola.
Oh no, it has caffeine!
Oh gosh.
Carbonated milk. Straight from Coca-Cola.
It's hard to say where technology is going to take us as far as grocery stores. I think it's
Mormon milk.
There's going to be a certain, there is going to be some sort of apocalypse eventually. Like all these big stores are going to be shut down. Everything will be online. Lord willing, I'm okay with that because you know what that means? Basically, all these big companies maybe will shut down and they'll be exclusively online. And then
Local business.
Exactly.
High five.
Local business. Return.
That would suck. That sucked. Let's do that again.
There you
Never.
go. High five. Return of the local businesses. Return of the American pride. The American, just Americana.
Let's make America great again.
Make America great again. Thank you very much. But seriously, I'd be all for it, dude. Like
we need to build the wall right around the Walmart and keep all the white trash and motorhomes in that circle. Do not let them out. We need to build a wall around every Walmart, and that Walmart will be its own society and country, and we will call it Portland, Oregon.
But yeah, if we could get local business to come back and start to thrive, we will become a better country. Because the people that run these local businesses don't cut corners. They will gladly tackle people if they steal from them, because that's the other thing, is stealing meant more back in those days. Before we had big warehouses and all these places, you were literally
stealing from someone.
You're stealing from someone, and in a way, you're stealing their livelihood, man. Like, they're losing a lot of money if you do that, so they're gonna freaking tackle you. We need to put our priorities back into check, man. We gotta figure out what is important and what is not, and we need to we just gotta start over on that, because a lot of people have the wrong priorities these days. But yeah, let's hashtag bring back small business, and support your local small businesses if you can. I get it. Like, I still go to Walmart for a lot of stuff, even though I hate Walmart. It's a love-hate relationship. But if there are more stores around here I could buy those things at, I would. I definitely would. I'm all for small business, because the reason I like small business so much is the people. The people are good-hearted people, and they're doing something they love. And oftentimes you can go in, you can talk to these folks and have a good conversation and establish a lifelong relationship with all these people. And, in a way, sometimes they become part of your family. And then you have this big family of people who are all just, at the end of the day, regular old Joes who run small businesses. And that's the way it should be. Not these big old corporate jerks who don't give a crap about anybody. They only want money.
That's funny, because every time you get a new job at like a retail store, so here at Walmart, we treat our employees like their family. But yeah. It's the boldest bull crap I've ever heard ever.
Trust me, that was one of the things I heard. I kept hearing it at Lowe's all the time. Lowe's is a family. Welcome to the family. Okay, well, if Lowe's is a family, I'd actually want to be here 6 days a week and work on Sundays. But whatever. But yeah,
didn't they force you to work on Sundays, even though you literally said from the start, I don't want to go because I go to church?
That was actually the nail in the coffin for me. Is I'm very against
religious.
Sundays. I'm very against Sundays.
Very religious.
At the end of the day, I don't think. I mean, to me, it's more than just a religious thing. I was raised religious, but I think people should take that day to spend with their families and the people that they love, no matter what religion you believe in or whatever. But everyone needs a day of rest, and I mean, there's obviously a good reason why.
Well, everyone does get a good rest. Well, you work 5 days a week, you got 2 days off. That's your day of rest. But the thing is, it doesn't always fall on the same day.
No.
But I
get it. Some jobs need to be worked on the weekends, and that's fine.
Like emergency.
Yeah, and everybody has the choice where they want to work. So there's that. And trust me, I know people who've worked in law enforcement for many years, and sometimes they wouldn't get Christmas off. I mean, it happens. That's just how it is. Even
a grocery store.
Well, actually, one of them I knew someone who worked security 1 year for a grocery store and still had to work on Christmas. This was up it. He used to work in Portland, which he hated it, but that's where
I would hate Portland too.
He was making a lot of money at the time, and he couldn't move. Now he's moved into a better place in Eugene. But anyway, he worked at what the heck is it named? Oh, New Seasons Market, I think is what it's called in Portland, which is super like liberalized, just crap market up there. It's stupid. There's like 5 of them. Anyway, yeah, he had to work there out of all places on Christmas and do security, and it sucked. But yeah, so I get it. Sometimes you have to work on Christmas and you have to work on weekends, and I get that.
What I was saying was,
but my point is some jobs are not that important, and There used to be a time where a lot of these, when they were local businesses, they were closed on Sunday. Grocery stores used to be closed on Sunday when they're local business.
Yeah, like emergency stuff, doctors, hospital, stuff like that. Yeah, you could work every day of the week, but like grocery stores, I feel like they could close on a Sunday and still survive.
Yes.
You just shop another day of the week.
As the Greek god Paul Blart once said, safety doesn't take a holiday.
Yeah.
So
anything that involves human life and safety, it's totally fine to work every day of the week.
Right.
There's
they're
a reason
humans.
for it.
Yeah,
but
they're humans and they need help. That's fine.
But a grocery store, like, why do you need to be open on a Sunday?
No.
Why do you need to be open on a holiday?
People need to learn how to deal with that. But
at least Winco closed down for Christmas and stuff.
That's true.
But Sundays ain't good crap.
Right. There's a cycle that we seem to forget. The problem, one of the biggest problems.
Does Chick-fil-A, since it's religious, do they close on Sundays?
They do. They're closed every Sunday.
What about In-N-Out? Isn't that also?
In-N-Out, I don't think so, but they are religious. They have Bible verses on their cups and stuff. So, I don't know if they're. Well, they can't be Mormon because why would they have Christian Bible verses? I don't know.
Well, Mormons do
we
read the
look
Bible,
into that
but
at another time. But
they do read the Bible. It's just that they
yeah,
have
but if they were gonna, why would they put Bible verses from the actual Bible if they believe in the Book of Mormon?
No, well, they still believe in the actual Bible. They just have the Book of Mormon, which is extra, which is kind of bullcrap. But that's my opinion.
I don't know. We could discover that. See, lots of things we can learn about.
The Mormon philosophy on that one is that, in the Book of Revelation, where it says no more should be added to this book, Christians such as you and me believe that means no more should be added to the Bible. Mormons say correct. No more should be added to Revelation. So that's their loophole. They think it's just talking about the Book of Revelation and not the entire Bible. That's their loophole.
Well, they also believe in soaking, but that's another time.
I don't know what that is.
It's okay.
I feel like it's inappropriate.
It is. I'm out of topics at this point. I don't know.
They do wear secret underwear. I found that out.
Which is whack. We should do an episode on Mormons, although we get canceled.
Our friend might hate us, but
yeah, that'd be interesting. Maybe
we can invite him on the podcast.
I was gonna say, but I don't want to roast him though. I don't want to have him on the cast and then just start talking crap about it and then make him feel bad.
Maybe we should talk about it in a discussion more than a roast.
We can try. I mean,
we can discuss it.
It's gonna be tough for me just because it's kind of a joke of a religion. But
yeah, I'm more.
It
is. I'm more open-minded about it. I mean, I would still believe it's bullcrap, but I'm not as defensive about it.
Well, I agree.
Or offensive.
Every religion got something right. That's my opinion. They all have some good, valid point.
Yeah, every religion, if it's a good religion, has some basic of universal morality that they should teach. Yeah. And most religion probably, if they're old and historical, they all have some point of truth in them. But
the worst religion,
I don't think the Book of Mormon has any truth in it. But if you take a Buddhist and a Christian and you take a Jewish and you take a
Jewish
Islamic, I'm sure they all have some truth in them. They all have the basic morality, and then they also have probably some historical truth. But I don't know. I think Christianity is the truth, but even that probably has some parts that's been misinterpreted over time. But that's just my opinion.
For sure, there's been misinterpretation, but the reason that it's been so dicey upon Christianity,
and I'm sure there's been misinterpretation, and I'm sure there's been purposeful things left out, but that's just my opinion.
Right. The biggest reason Christianity's been so dicey over all this time is usually the people, because they make it about themselves or about worship, and really it's about God. But
basically anything, if it's took to an extreme, it's bad.
Yeah, I can.
If you're extreme about anything, it can turn to be bad.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, we can do a religious podcast perhaps later on.
Religious podcast.
Well, maybe we'll see.
Please do not cuss. This is my Christian Minecraft server. We do not allow swearing in my Christian Minecraft server. Get out, man. Get out. Oh, praise the Lord, power, grace, stability.
Yeah, I mean, we'll decide if we want to do a religious podcast. I mean,
we'll get canceled.
Maybe.
Fun times.
I mean, I definitely want to preach the word of our Lord and Savior, and that's important. But that's not what this podcast is about.
Yeah, I agree.
It's more about just universal learning different stuff. if you guys want a religious podcast, let me know. But
I don't think we want to do a religious podcast. We might have a religious episode, but not a religious podcast. Because I personally, I'm still Christian, but I think we should leave this podcast more secular so we can appeal to everyone.
This one, yes, I don't want to make this one about religion, but yeah, I'd rather cover like historic stuff more.
Yeah, well, I mean, I want this podcast to be a little bit of everything, discuss anything.
That's
we can have an episode about religion, but I don't want every episode to be talking about and come from a religious perspective. I want every episode to be just have our personal,
a general perspective,
personal, just life,
so we can all understand. Yes,
but if you want to talk about discuss different religions in an episode, we can do that. But
yeah, so we're on the same wavelength here.
I love how podcast you start talking about grocery stores and then it turns into why Mormons wear secret underwear and the deep philosophies of life. Like how did we get here? What is the meaning of life? Do we really have free will? These are the questions. Kids, are we living in the Matrix?
Remember, kids, the worst religion of all is retail. So yeah, I don't know where else to go from here, but
all hail our Lord and Savior Sam Walton or whatever.
Sam Walton.
Is that the guy who made Walmart?
I think you're right.
All hail the Walmart. All hail the Walmart. All hail Sam Walton.
Can't spell Sam Walton without Satan. I think. I don't know.
It is Sam Walton.
That's it. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna wrap this up. What are we at here? An hour and 15?
Yeah, 16.
Hour and 16. Okay. Yeah. Well,
I think we're just gonna be rambling on about random stuff.
At this point. I think so. So we're just gonna cut it off here.
The man would just literally just cut it off. Just
right.
We're not cut it off here.
I don't know if you guys have heard yet, but you were saying, Tyler, you're going to be out of town for a while, right? A couple weeks?
Yeah, I'm going to Vegas.
Yeah, he's going off to Vegas. I'm still going to be here. I'll hold down the fort. Of course, not this house. I don't really care about his house, but... No, but I mean, I'll be here in town.
You don't like the tape.
I'll be here in town, but he's going to be off of vacay, so we're probably going to put a pin in this cast for a couple weeks or so.
I'll probably upload that 5-minute bonus episode next week to hold us over a little bit. Plus, this episode's an hour and 15 minutes long, so it should hold people over.
Yeah, this'll keep people. Hopefully, we made it a little longer on purpose.
There's no one listening to this podcast if we're going to be real, so it doesn't even matter anyway.
It is really just rambling, incoherent, speech at this point. But this is kind of a way to put your thoughts out there and just
Look at this photograph. Looking at it makes me laugh.
He's holding up a Nickelback album right now. He thinks he's funny.
Where did I find this and why do I have this? This belongs in the trash!
You have a bunch of CDs, dum-dum.
I think they belonged to my parents at one time. But I picked that up because it made me laugh.
You think his parents are listening to Nickelback when they... Well, anyways, that's probably where he came from. Which explains a lot. Are you alright? Uh-oh. We gotta reset him. He went to autism mode.
Boom!
Oh, there he goes.
You made me plane crash.
So, yeah. Thanks for listening. If you are listening. If you aren't, well, that's a shame. It's been good.
I've had enough with these godforsaken snakes on this godforsaken plane!
It's been real. It's been good.
Okay, this podcast.
Are we gonna end it or not?
This podcast has gone for too long. When I'm just saying random bull crap just to keep it going.
Oh gosh. All right, everybody. So yeah, I don't know if you noticed. We recently uploaded to Spotify. We have a Spotify account. Analyze to Realize, the same thing. And on YouTube, the Analyze to Realize podcast. If you look that up. Feel free to leave a comment below on any of our casts, and we'll get back to you. We'll eventually be making an Instagram account so you can private message us easier if you have ideas for the cast. Yeah, what else?
We should use that green screen in something someday.
We have a big green screen over here. He's using as a curtain for his closet. We'll have to try that out sometime. Maybe make you some video content for the gram. That'd be fun. Maybe eventually we'll get a TikTok. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But we got to get an Instagram first. We'll be working on that. So he's gonna be gone a couple weeks. I might consider starting another podcast myself. We're gonna my new podcast will probably be about like TV shows, and so stay tuned for that. I'll
What's
let
the
you
difference
know.
from that one and this one?
Well, because this one is everything and anything. Mine is gonna be specifically like TV shows and movies. This one is literally anything you can think of. I mean,
Okay, you going to do the same Can you do the same topics on this one?
well, we can. Yeah, it just depends.
Is your podcast just going to be just you?
No, it's probably gonna be me and my buddy Hunter because he came up with the idea for that specific cast.
Okay.
But yeah, more details on that one later. Yeah. So stay cool, stay classy. Hit us up on the YouTube and whatnot. We'll get some social media going here soon, so you guys can get in touch with us better if you're listening. That's about it for me. So have a good day, and we'll see you later. Okay. For a song called Piano Man, the guy on the harmonica sure can.